Yeah, we are now live. Arhant Siddh Sur Upadhyay Sadhu Sarva अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। Hope everyone enjoyed the class yesterday. Vijay ji explained the whole chapter very nicely. So we are just now halfway through the chapter. So Upadan part has been explained. Now today we will be starting with the Nimit part. And let everybody come, then we will take up that question that was given to you as a homework. So Vijay ji, you can start.
So just a very quick short recap of yesterday's class.
I will make you a co-host.
Sure. Yeah. So yesterday's class, we discussed that any action that takes place in the presence of causes. Causes are of two kinds. One is the Upadan Karan, or the inherent cause, which is the substance that itself transforms into the action. The second set of causes are the external factors that are deemed suitable for that action to take place. So one side is the Upadan, which is the substance itself, and the second side is the Nimit, which are the external factors that are suitable for that transformation. Now, the question that was there was that if the substance itself is the doer of the said activity, then the substance is eternal. So such an activity should take place eternally, forever. And that does not happen. So what is causing that action? In the answer to that, we divided substantive cause or Upadan into two parts. One was the eternal cause, which is the Trikali Upadan, which is the substance or the attribute itself. And the second one was the momentary power. The momentary power of the self, which was the Kshanik Upadan, was said to be the potent factor which causes the action we are talking about. And Kshanik Upadan again was divided into two components. One was the withering away of the immediate prior modification and the eligibility of the current modification to manifest into the action, which was the Tat Samay Ki Yogyata. These two combined signified the Purusharth or the effort before the transformation and the transformation itself. So this was said to be the potent or the capable cause, which was not only necessary for the action to take place, but also sufficient in itself. If such a cause is present, the action takes place, without which it does not. And when such an action takes place, there is the order of nature that suitable factors are also available. They are also present, but they are not instigating the action that we are talking about. So today we will understand the types of Nimit. Over here, there are only two types given. There are several more, which I think in the bigger book we can cover, right? So Subhaji, can you read, please? Page number 24 in Tattvagyan Vatmala 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Jai Jinendra.
Yeah.
We can say can I start it from student, or we can say
from student?
Okay. Student are conventional causes of two kinds: indifferent and prompter. Speaker: yes, they have thus been divided, though ether, anti-ether, space and time substances having no desire of their own and being inactive are called indifferent substantive causes, and the sole substance having desires and being active and the matter substances being active only are called prompter instrumental causes. Yet in the emergence of the action, all are indifferent like the ether substance.
Yeah, I
Acharya,
think we should, that's it. So let us first try and understand this. Conventional cause, so here we are referring to the nimit, the instrumental cause. They are of two kinds. One is indifferent, or we can also call as udasin nimit. So what we mean is indifferent, that and the second one is prompter, or we can say the motivational cause, which looks like is motivating the action which is taking place. Now, indifferent causes, they are of four types. Here they have given ether is dharmastikai, or the medium of motion. We all know six substances. So Jeev, Pudgal, Dharmastikai, Adharmastikai, Akash and Kal. So Dharma, Dharavya is said to be the medium of motion. Anti-ether is Adharma Dravya, which is the medium of rest. So when any living being or a matter substance is moving across this universe, this ether or dharmastikai is said to be the indifferent instrumental cause. It is the indifferent nimit. It is not causing the motion and yet is said suitable for the said motion. So the example usually given to explain this phenomena is of water, right? So water in a pond is the suitable medium for the movement of the fish. Now, water is not telling the fish to swim. It is not helping the fish to swim in any way. Yet, without water, the fish cannot swim. So, such are these indifferent instrumental causes. They do not cause the action. Motivational also does not cause the action, but these are universally present. So, ether and ether or dharmastikai, adharmastikai, space and time substances, they have no desires. Okay, they don't want to instigate the action. That is one thing. There is no desire and they cannot move. They have no movement of their own. Kriyavati Shakti, which is the ability to move spaces, is present only in a living being and matter substances. So these four substances, namely dharmastikai, adharmastikai, space and time, they firstly do not have any desires. And they also do not have any possibility of movement or activity. They are stationary eternally in their own space. So these are called as indifferent substantive. Indifferent substantive is written, but actually it is the indifferent instrumental cause. Okay, so that mistake you should correct because we are talking about nimit over here. So these four substances are called indifferent instrumental causes. They are the indifferent nimit, udasin nimit. Okay, and the sole substance. Now, first part we have discussed, because these substances, they don't have any desire. That was the first point. And the second point is they are inactive. They cannot have any motion. So this is why they are indifferent instrumental causes or udasin nimit. The second is the motivational instrumental cause, which is prompting the action. It looks like it is instigating the action to take place. Now, why so? Because they have desire and they have movement, or they can have action. Okay, so the sole substance, it has desire and action both, right? Ichha and kriya, both are present where sole substance is concerned or jeev dravya is concerned. So sole substance is said to be the prompter instrumental cause, which is the word used here, or you can say the motivational instrumental cause, which can motivate the action. And the second type, which is the matter substance or Pudgal Dravya, it does not have any desire, but it has action. It has Kriyavati Shakti, or it has the ability to move spaces. And therefore, it is also known as a motivational instrumental cause or the prompter instrumental cause. Okay, so are we clear with the difference? There are two types, indifferent and prompter. Indifferent because they do not have desire and cannot move, and prompter, They either have both desire and movement or only movement, and that is why they are the motivational cause. Now, if you want examples of motivational cause, so when the activity of teaching is going on, the teacher has a desire to teach, as well as through his language, through his actions, he is causing the activity of teaching, right? So that is why he is the motivational cause. And if you talk about Pudgal Dravya, when the flag is fluttering in the wind, right? So the wind does not have the desire, and yet it causes the movement. That is why that wind becomes the prompter instrumental cause, but it is Pudgal, what we are talking about. Okay, any questions on this? Can we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, ma'am, you can read.
Yeah. Acharya Pujyapad has said in Ishtopadesh, an ignorant being cannot be made a learned one by teaching, and in the same way, a learned one cannot be made an ignorant being. Because non-self substances are only conventional causes, just as the ether substance is for self-moving soul and matter. Can I continue? Yeah. The Sanskrit Tika further clarifies this saying, a misgiving can arise to the effect that thus all the external causes will be eliminated. This has been answered thus. Others, like teachers and enemies, etc., are in the emergence and destruction, respectively, of the alleged action, are only instrumental causes. In reality, the ability of the substance is the prime cause in the happening or non-happening of the event or action. Student, the soul of Mahavir Bhagwan in the previous life of a lion attained the self with the teaching of two Digambar Jain saints having the power to fly in the sky. It was on account of this that he became Bhagwan Mahavir in later phase. Why don't you recognize their teaching as the instrumental cause? Speaker, we don't deny the importance of teaching as an instrumental cause. If teaching alone can fetch welfare of the soul, many people listen to the religious discourses. Why don't all those attain purification of the soul? Why did not Mahavir start the process of purification of the soul in the life of Marichi? Was there any paucity of instrumental causes? Was the teaching of the two Digambar Jain said, moving in the sky, better than the teaching of Rishabh-Deo? Bharat Chakravarti was his father, and the first propounder of religion, Rishabh-Deo, was his grandfather. And yet he sounded opposition to the teachings of Bhagavan Rishabh-Deo in the religious congregation. Was there something lacking in the message of Rishabh-Deo?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So there was some problem in my connection. Now I'm connected through my phone. Okay. So we were at the indifferent and the motivational instrumental cause. So here somebody might question, that if the cause is motivational, then is it causing the action? Does a teacher actually responsible for the activity of learning that is taking place in the student? So that is the question. So in that answer, Acharya Pujyapad is clarifying that an ignorant being cannot be made a learned one, right? By teaching, and in the same way, a learned one cannot be made an ignorant being because non-self substances are only conventional causes, just as the medium of motion is in the self-moving soul and matter. What this means is that if I am saying that the teacher is the cause of learning in the students, then just think that all the students should excel in the same way. What I am teaching is same for the class of 50 students, then everyone should understand it in the exact same way. However, that never happens. There is one person who will stand first and there will be a few who will fail in the class. This means that even though the Nimit is motivational, yet the action takes place according to the intrinsic ability of the student itself. So, an ignorant being cannot be made a learned one, In the same way, a learned one cannot be made an ignorant one, because whatever the action is taking place is 100% by the substance itself. It is his own eligibility, it is his own ability, which is causing the said activity to occur or not to occur, both the ways, right? So if I am not standing first in my class, who is the cause of that? Is it because I did not go to a good tuition class, or is it because, of anything else, I did not get a good teacher? So no, your eligibility is not there. That is why it is not happening. And if I am, if the coaching class claims that so and so IIT toppers are because of their teaching, so that is also wrong, because every student has scored because due to his own eligibility and ability. Okay, so these non-self substances or nimic, who are they? How are they functioning? Like ether substances for self-moving soul and matter. So just now, I gave the example of water in a pond. The water in a pond is just a medium for the fish to swim. Now, the water is not motivating the fish to, go around. The fish is moving according to its own will. However, without the presence of the water, the fish will not move. So this water is just an indifferent instrumental cause, right? In the same way, all nimit, whether it is motivational or it is not motivational, whether it has desire, it can move, it cannot move, it has the same kind of function. Just like Dharmastikai does not motivate any soul or matter to move about in the universe, in the same way, any kind of instrumental cause, whether it is karma, whether it is your circumstances, whether it is any form of non-self substances, they are not causing the action in you. And in the same way, you are not doing it for them. Okay, every substance is completely independent in its own transformation, and no one substance can cause the activity of another substance. It is like an infringement. You are trying to take the credit of some other substance's work. you know that is chori, that is theft. You are actually not doing it. That credit goes to the transformation of that substance. For example, if the dough got converted into chapati and I am saying that I have made the chapati, that means I am taking the ownership of the work done by the dough. Now conventionally we can say it, okay, I have made chapati today. But when it comes to the matter of belief, to the matter of Shraddha, that okay, I am doing the work of other substances. I'm doing the work of my body, I'm maintaining my house, my business, my work, and so on and so forth. So when I'm attaching that belief of doership with all these external transformations which are going around, then I become a criminal. Like somebody doing theft, somebody stealing someone else's rights is a thief in front of the law. I believing that I am doing the work of all external substances and I am their doer. I become a criminal. What kind of criminal? Criminal in this Vastu Vyavastha, in the nature of how the things are operating. And what is the punishment of such a crime? The punishment is infinite cycles of rebirth. I keep on suffering from delusion, and then it causes attachment, aversion, rag, dvesh, karma, and I keep on getting, birth and death, birth and death. Because of this simple belief that I am causing action in others, others are causing actions in me, we are all dependent on each other. One substance is doing work of another substance. I cannot, do my job without nimic. I need somebody to explain me, otherwise if I don't have that, I will not be able to do. So all these kind of misbeliefs are one of the main reasons that we are suffering in these four states of existence. And if we want to break this cycle of misbelief, we have to understand this concept, how each and every substance is completely independent in its transformation and how things are going about in the universe. In short, Vastu Vyavastha, or how the universe is functioning. Okay. So the next was that the Sanskrit Tika, a misgiving can arise to the effect that thus all external. Okay. So the question of the student is that now if you are saying that Nimit is not doing any work, then what will happen? All the ignorant beings will shun the Nimit. Arey, why should I go to the temple? Why should I do Swadhyay? Why should I read Shastra? Because it is also a Nimit, right? Why am I supposed to do all that? People will start abandoning the good Nimit also. So this was the question that an ignorant person is asking. If I'm going to say that all the work is happening through Upadan only, and Nimit has no role to play, then people are not going to come to Dev Shastra Guru. Why will they worship? Why will they do good deeds? And so on and so forth. So this has been answered. Like others, like teachers, enemies, are in the emergence and destruction respectively of the alleged action. Okay. So what they are trying to say is that whether the action is taking place or not, you know, so these external factors are just instrumental causes. The action is happening for according to the inherent ability of the substance itself. And these external causes are only, you can say, conventional cause or instrumental cause. They are not causing action. They are not cause of your happiness or misery. They are not giving you, they are not emerging or destruction. Utpad or VI mein, they are not at all the doers. The substance itself is the doer of this action. The teachers in teaching or enemies in your misery are known as external nimit. In reality, the cause of your happiness or your misery is you yourself. All these external causes are just conventional. And when we internalize this concept, our feeling, our belief that we depend on them for our happiness, it goes away. Okay. Now, then the question is, so this is the story of Mahavir Bhagwan. So the person is counter questioning that soul of Mahavir Bhagwan in the life of a lion. He was a cruel lion. He was, suffering from many births in Narak and then again animal and Narak and Nigod. So in the birth of lion, what happened was that that lion had just killed a deer and was eating it. Simultaneously, at Samosharan of a Tirthankar, two Charan Ruddhidhari Muniraj had asked the question that is there any soul of Tirthankar around? And in that, this Deshna had come that this soul, which is eating the deer, is future 24th Tirthankar of Bharat Shashnate, and we should go and give updesh to this lion. So they came skywalking to this lion and just sat in front of him on a rock, looking at their serene, peaceful, stature itself. The lion's sentiments changed completely from the feeling of that, cruelty. He became very soft, and looking at them, he worshipped them, he joined his hands and he started crying. Those two Muniraj, they gave him Updesh that what are you doing? You are a pure soul. Why are you, killing other animals? There is this pure soul within you. You have to realize yourself. And all of that, his past birth and everything they said. And as we all know, lion is also a Panchendriya Jeev. It has the mind, it has the ability to decide what is right and what is wrong. So at that instant, Bhagwan Mahavir's soul in the birth of the lion attained Samyak Darshan then and there. Okay. So the question, sorry? Okay.
Sorry.
So, yeah. So now the question is that the lion attained Samyak Darshan because of those two ascetics, right? Two Muniraj. They caused him to get Samyak Darshan. Na? Otherwise, the lion would not get Samyak Darshan. So how can we say that Nimit is not the doer of the activity? This is the counter question. So now answer to this is if we flash back to even previous births of Mahavir Bhagwan, then there was one birth of Pururava Bhil. In that birth, because of some Muniraj, he took some small pratigya, and from there he was born as Marichi, who was the son of Bharat Chakravarti. Everyone has heard about Bharat Chakravarti? Yeah, he is the son of Bhagwan Rishabdev. Bhagwan Rishabdev has the elder son, who is Bharat Chakravarti, who was the first Chakravarti or the king of 6 regions in this 20 in this Avsarpini Kal, or in this you can say in this era. He was the first Chakravarti. Now Bharat Chakravarti had some 100 sons and Marichi was one of them. So in that birth, Now, what the speaker is saying that when he was in the birth of Marichi, he had the supreme level of instrumental causes. His Dadaji, his grandfather, was Bhagwan Rishabh Dev himself, the first teacher of this era. His Divya Dhwani has enlightened the entire, Bharat Kshetra at that time. So, Rishabh Dev, if you can say, if you are saying that Nimit is the doer, why didn't Rishabh Dev cause Marichi to get Samyak Darshan at that time? Right? Marichi went and listened to his Divya Dhwani. In that Divya Dhwani, Rishabdev Bhagwan said that this Jeev of Marichi is going to become the 24th Tirthankar. So, just for your information, the time between Rishabdev and Mahavir is 1 Koda Kodi Sagar, which is 1 crore multiplied by 1 crore Sagar, which is very big period of time. So, Marichi was very angry at this kind of Divya Dhwani. After 1 Koda Kodi Sagar, I will become the Tirthankar. I want to become the second Tirthankar. So he started in that birth itself 363 false doctrines. He went against the message of his own Dada and he started propagating the false religion. As a result of which, for that 1 Koda Kodi Sagar, he had this infinite cycles of birth and death. So many times he went to Narak, he went to Nigoth for a very long span of time, became all sorts of forms until he came to this birth of lion. So you understand this story. His soul was not ready to absorb the message of spirituality at that point in time. The internal cause was not ready for the sermon. And as a result, he got sermon from Bhagwan Rishabh Dev. I mean, what else do you need? But he went against it because he was not ready. And in the birth of lion, now who can think that a lion can get sermons from someone and get Samyak Darshan? How rare is the possibility? Yet internally, the time was right. His soul was ready to practice the, science of differentiation, to practice Bhedgyan, to understand what is the true nature of the 7 elements, to understand what is self and what is non-self. That was the ripe time. And as a result, he found these two Nimit who just came walking from the sky directly to him. So this entire episode of Mahavir Bhagwan is, a classic example of how the action happens at the right time. Albeit there is a presence of instrumental causes, but they are not the doers of the action. They do not instigate the action in any way. Yet their presence is inevitable in the entire journey. So till this, do we have any questions? Yeah, can we go ahead? Okay, so we need to read from page number 25, second last paragraph. Yeah, Priyanka ji, you can.
I read from student.
This proves that. Second last paragraph.
Yeah, thank you, Aditi ji. Okay. This proves that when the self is completely ready, the desired action materializes, and that time the favorable instrumental causes are always present. One has not to try to find them. Where was the chance of any teaching in the cruel phase of the lion's life? But when the soul force of the lion became sufficiently powerful, the instrumental cause descended from the heavens. It was, therefore, said that the seeker of the soul should not be restless in finding favorable instrumental causes. Who says that instrumental causes are not there? However, we have not to make a search of these. When the action in the self materializes, the favorable instrumental causes are always there.
Yeah,
Action
so
does not.
That's it.
Sorry.
Yeah. So when the time is ready, when you are internally ready for the action, you will find instrumental causes in the simplest of things. The times of your life when you find, are the most challenging, I believe they are the instrumental cause propelling you to take up spiritual studies. They will in fact motivate you to, take this journey of self growth. Because when we, go to do something, it won't happen. But when you're ready, you will see that, like instrumental cause, like this Paramaga Honors course, from somewhere or the other, it just drops in. Because now is the time that you are ready. So you don't have to get frantic in their search. You don't have to get anxious. Oh, my cause is dependent on some good teacher. Otherwise, it will not happen. It's not like that. When you are ready, you will find the books, you will find the resources, some, web page you will find, everything will just fall into place. But that readiness, that interest, that ruchi is something which you have to show that now I want to end this cycle of, transmigration. I want to understand the truth of the universe. And when that readiness comes from you, you will certainly find what is meant for you. There is one thing, instrumental cause descended from the heavens. So Muniraj don't come from heaven. I think you should write descended from the sky will be more appropriate to say. Okay. So basically this just says that everything depends on your effort, on your interest, on your readiness, and the instrumental causes at that moment are always present. Okay. We do not deny that they do play a role. However, in your transformation, only your soul plays the role. So that is something we have to understand. We may get sermons from Tirthankar Bhagwan, from Kevli Bhagwan, and yet those sermons are just an instrumental cause. They do not cause the action. If they are the cause of the action, just imagine everyone who is sitting in the Sabha of Tirthankar Bhagwan should get moksha. But it rarely happens, right? There are some people who become ascetics, some people who become Shravaks, and there are some people like Marichi who go against the sermon. And the sermon which was supposed to be for his benefit ultimately becomes for his harm. So what is Nimit? Nimit is nothing. It is known as Nimit according to the action that takes place. Rishabdev Bhagwan's Divya Dhwani became a Nimit of Kalyan for so many people. But for Marichi, it was a spell of doom. You understand? So there is nothing like instrumental cause playing an action. When the action takes place accordingly, the instrumental cause is given its name. Okay, so an example is coming in the next paragraph. Yeah, Atiti ji, you can read that.
Action does not follow the instrumental causes. The instrumental causes are so called according to the action. Man interested in sensual joys develops attachment seeing the dead body of a prostitute, while a detached person develops feeling of renunciation. The same prostitute is said to be the cause of attachment for a man of senses and renunciation for the detached person. If actions happen in accordance with instrumental causes, each one should have feelings of attachment or renunciation. Pandit Todarmal ji asserts, non-self substances do not forcefully obstruct the alleged action. When our own manifestations are undesirable, then it is only an external cause, while another man spoils his thoughts without any instrumental cause. As such, there is no instrumental causation as a rule. Thus, it is perverted faith to find fault with non-self substances. Neither the instrumental cause.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
read.
So action, no. We'll first understand this. Action does not follow the instrumental cause. What does this mean? That nimit ke anusar karya nahi hota. What the nimit wants, according to that, the manifestation does not take place. Okay. The teacher wants a student to study, but that action will depend on the student and not on the teacher. Okay. So instrumental causes are so called according to the action. The example is of a dead body of a woman. Now, seeing a dead body of a woman, like you can see people around her can have different feelings. If there is a dog, the dog will feel like eating that dead body. If there is a man who is attracted to woman, he will feel like, having sensual pleasure with that body. And whereas a person who is detached will feel like giving up all the worldly pleasures and taking up diksha. So each person has shown different kind of emotion seeing the same thing. Now, why so? If that dead body is the cause of attachment, then she should cause attachment to every single person. But it doesn't happen. Now, if we watch a movie, okay, so every person watching the movie has different reactions. somebody feels attached, somebody feels detached, somebody enjoys the fighting, somebody feels that, oh my God, why are they doing so much violence? So each person is showing emotions according to their own eligibility, right? So the movie is not the cause of attachment or detachment. The person's own dispositions are the cause. So as such, Nimit has no role, and the person is showing feelings according to his own eligibility. Now, Pandit Todarmalji says that non-self substances do not forcefully obstruct the alleged action. Now, a lot of times we feel that, oh, I am compelled by so and so circumstances and so family. This person made me do this. And in that, we blame, we want to play the victim and we blame the circumstances, we blame other people for causing the action in us. So this Jainism, Jinwani Ma is telling you that it is not true. They are not forcefully causing the action in you. You cannot say that that person did so and so action and caused anger in me. You understand? Why are you angry? Oh, because that person said these hurtful words to me. So those words do not have the power to hurt you till you give that power to them. Understand, the authority is in your hands. They are not forcefully causing misery. In the same way, the non-self substances are not even giving you happiness. Two people are going on a trip. One person is enjoying, and at the same time, another person is complaining. This is not there, that is not there. So why is this happening? Because the non-self substance is not a cause of your happiness or misery, and it is not causing any action in you. Now, when your own manifestation is undesirable, when that anger is arising in you due to their reason, then that becomes an external cause or nimit. Somebody smashing my car becomes a nimit of my anger. And sometimes I get angry without anybody doing anything, right? You just remember some old thing and you feel angry or upset, or you just feel your mood is off. Now, why is it off? Because, okay, just like that. So just like that, it means that no external substance is causing any good or bad thing in you. It is entirely your own manifestation. And what happens is, without knowing this Vastu Vyavastha, we blame people, we blame circumstances, we become the victims, or we become the doers of their actions. If I'll not do that, it will upset that person. I am causing happiness or misery in somebody else. I am afraid of, doing something and that will upset someone else. So all this, shackles are our own created barriers. Nobody is causing anybody else's transformation. And this is the ultimate truth of the universe. And when we internalize this message from a topic like Nimit Upadan, half of our anxiety in our daily life, it just goes away. Because now we understand that everything is happening according to its own eligibility. I am not actually the doer of any actions, and things will take place. And when the action has to occur, if I am the Nimit, I am going to be present at that time as a rule. So, with this kind of understanding, we feel quite relaxed. We feel that, now my consciousness can get engaged in things like Swadhyaya, in things like worship, without unnecessary worry about external things. What happens in other substances is not my worry. What is done by them is also not my worry, because my, power is in my own hands, is within me. Like hand is also a metaphor. My power is within me, and that realization is actually giving us a lot of bliss, a lot of anxiety free, stress free in our daily life. Okay, so when what is the conclusion of this entire thing? That it is mithya bhav, perverted faith to find fault with non-self substances. When I am blaming non-self substances like pardravya, anything which is outside my domain, I am blaming or crediting them. Such a belief is mithyatva or delusion. And delusion, one thing has, a cascading effect. One wrong belief leads to a million wrong beliefs. So when I am correcting this seed, this basic thing that no non-self substance can give me happiness or misery, can cause any action in me, and I can also not do anything for any other substance, I truly understand the independent nature of Dravya Gun Paryay, of this Vastu Vyavastha. And now, when I'm free from responsibilities of the universe, I'm free from doing things for the universe, I can actually start my journey of self realization. Because so far, what are we engaged in? We are engaged in doing things for others. We want to do things for the body, maintain this, that, everything, right? We don't want to do things for ourselves because where is the time? I am busy doing things for others, right? My entire time is devoted because I believe that I am going to do it. I am controlling so and so thing. So internally, when your belief hits the right spot, that वो अपने आप हो रहा है, you will still continue doing your job and your household responsibilities. Nothing stops, but your belief, your stress of doing it right, it just goes away, and that is going to give you, much better calmness and peace of mind in your daily life, and it is going to allow you to progress many folds in your spiritual journey. So this is one of the very important topics for this. Now, let's read ahead. Ms. Shah.
Yes. Pandit Todarmalji asserts.
Next one.
Sorry, can you scroll? Neither the instrumental cause does anything by force, nor does the self collect or bring instrumental causes together. The mutual relationship is very simple. This simplicity of the relations has been beautifully portrayed by Pandit Todarmalji thus. If karmic matter by its own efforts hurts the sentient nature of the soul, and if it fetches external material, then karma must be animate as well as possessing strength. But it is never like that. The relationship is very automatic. When the karmas reach the stage of fruition, the soul itself leaves its natural poise and behaves otherwise, and the other substances also behave in their own manner. Just as an ostrich and a she ostrich, which meet in the wake of sunrise, do so of their own nature, nobody separated them out of ill will forcibly, and nobody has brought them together in the daytime out of compassion. Such is the relationship of the desired action with the instrumental cause. The same holds good in the case of karmas. Student.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, very often we see that people believe that, things are caused by karmas. Right now, my karmas are going bad, paap ka uday chal raha hai. My demerits are going on, so that is why I'm suffering. So we attribute a lot of this to karmas. Because of Jnana Varniya karma, I am not having knowledge. Because of, Antarai karma, I am having so many obstacles in my spiritual journey, and so on and so forth. So in explanation, now karma is just a nimit. If you have studied karma, they are just nimit. When the soul itself is not manifesting according to its true nature, that time karma is a nimit which is present. So if karmic matter, now if karma is causing happiness or misery to you, then that karma needs to have what? Two things. It has to have bal or strength, and it has to have consciousness. Like, I want to do bad for this soul. You understand? It has to have consciousness because it is consciously doing bad or good things to you, right? But it does not have. These are just, particles of matter. Now, when the soul does not act by its own nature on its own, the karma uday is said to be a nimit. It is always a nimit naimitic sambandh. When the soul is not manifesting on its own, at that time, like when I am not showing uh, my potential of full knowledge, that time Jnana Varniya karma is the nimit. Okay. When I am showing anger in my disposition, that I am, Charitra Mohaniya karma is the nimit. So this is how the relationship works. Now, for the example, he has given the example of ostrich and she ostrich. I don't think is the right word because these birds are chakwa chakwi. They are Indian ducks. Okay, they are a pair of Indian ducks. Ostriches are not found in India, unfortunately. So, what is the nature of these Indian ducks? That these ducks are always found in pairs. Okay, so the entire day the ducks are spending together, and when the night comes, when the sunset comes, they cannot see. So they get separated during sunset, and they wail in each other's absence. They miss each other and they start crying in the night. And in the morning, they again reunite. Okay, so what he is saying that when they are getting separated, the sunset becomes a nimit. So did somebody cause their misery? So the sunset is just a nimit in their misery. Okay. And when they are reunited at sunrise, did somebody join them out of compassion? So no. Again, that was also a natural order, right? Their separation or their coming together was a natural progression, and sunrise or sunset just became a nimit. Sunrise did not have compassion to make these two birds meet, or sunset did not have, that kind of enmity to separate these two. So sunrise and sunset were just nimit in their coming together or getting separated. In the same way, karma is just a nimit in things coming together for the soul or getting separated. It is not causing actions of the soul or creating circumstances out of any consciousness or out of any will or any power. Okay, things are just coming together and going away as a nimitic sambandh with these karmas. Okay, so in this entire thing, what is our takeaway? We are not dependent on karma. Like, you don't have to say, oh, my karma are so bad, and that is why I have so many obstacles in my spiritual path. So my karma is like that. That is why I don't remember anything. I can't retain any information, or I'm not able to process. So all that is not true. The soul itself has its inherent power. It is inherent eligibility, and it no karma is going to stop your manifestation in any way. Okay, so karma, when the action happens, corresponding karma is just the nimit, and yet the soul is not powerless in its wake. Uh, in the current state, which is the Manushya Gati or the human state of existence, we all have that much Shoksham Gyan that we can manifest Samyak Darshan right here, right now. Okay, and you are the lucky few people who are getting the right message of Jinvani. And you are getting the sermons and everything. So there is no karma which is going to be an obstacle in your path, and neither there is any karma which is going to aid you in that path. It is just a nimit, which is, as we said earlier, dharmastikai vat, like medium of motion or medium of rest. They are not instigating your movement or stopping you in your movement. In the same way, this karma is also not hampering the soul's spiritual journey in any way. You've raised your hand. No? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Vijalji. So basically, then some people say, like, you should have good karmas. Like, achhi kaam karne chahiye. Like, you need to do good. Like, so if karmas are not like, having any role, then like, why people say, like,
Okay, so
pray
good
karma
karma.
kaaro.
Okay. So when you want to stay in this universe and keep on transmigrating, so you do good karma, you do punya, and then you go to moksha, you go to swarg, and you get better circumstances. So that is the thing. Here we are talking of what? Getting rid of all karma. Now my goal is not to do good karma and accumulate punya and then go to swarg, because that intention itself is not binding good karma, by the way, which you will learn, because my intention is to get riches and good things. So that is the thing. It is a very you can say बच्चों को बच्चों की भाषा में समझाना. Like, if somebody is doing bad things, I tell him that if you are going to continue doing these bad things, you are going to go in hell. So instead, you go worship, donate to needy, you do this, that, and build good karma. But ultimate message is that you realize your own soul. Do you understand? So when the person is in that level, he is involved in a lot of bad activities. That time we give the message, do good karma and don't do bad karma, because bad karma is certainly going to give you, more difficulties. But when we are talking about the spiritual upliftment, I'm going to say that karma is certainly a non-doer. It does not assist the soul in any way. It does not help, or it does not obstruct it in any way. It is Pardravya and I am Swadravya. We both are completely different. Yeah, does that answer your question? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Please, who has not read, Chaitanya ji? Yeah.
Yeah, Shashikala, I'll read, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
Why should we involve ourselves in this controversy of this actual duels and the instrumental cause thereof? What is the harm if you do not know these, and what is the gain from their knowledge? Speaker, to understand the correct nature of the power of the self and the instrumental causes for the materialization of an action is not a battle of wits or a controversy. The real issue is that people regard one as the doer of the other and are unhappy on the count. If we understand the real nature of the both, this controversy will be finished, because a person does not have a correct knowledge of the intrinsic power of the self and the conventional causes of its manifestations. He throws the blame of his guilt on the conventional causes and wants to remain innocent. A thief, for example, cannot be free from the guilt of theft by throwing the fault on the moonlight. In the same manner, this soul cannot be free from unhappiness and grief by throwing the responsibility of his own delusions, attachments, and aversions on the karmas. In such a state, we lose the capacity to find our own faults and to see within us. Shall I read the complete last one?
Yeah,
two?
just complete
But,
it.
by understanding these in their right perspective, the pride of being able to do something in others is gone. The inferiority due to their desire of help or support from others is finished. The desire of association of the non-self substances and the consequent restlessness is eliminated. Sorry. And a natural, quiet, undisturbed state of the soul emerges. Time is now over. Give deep consideration to whatever has been taught today. You will be happy.
Okay. So now in conclusion, the student is asking that why do we need to know these causes? Why do we get into the controversy that who is the doer of the action, whether Nimit has done it or Upadan has done it, What is the harm if we just do not know this? So we are just highlighting the importance and purpose of, learning what I call as one of the most fundamental principles of Jainism and of Vastu Vyavastha. Because when we understand the correct nature of how the transformation is taking place, of how actions are occurring, of how substances function, how the manifestation takes place. This right knowledge empowers us in removing our delusion. Right now, being the doer of external substances, I am crushed beneath the weight of doing things for others, or I am, anxious because I feel that I'm completely dependent on other substances, on external factors, and these things are so dynamic, they keep on changing. There is nothing which is fixed. So a mundane soul goes restlessness and anxiety, and as a result, suffers. When I understand the correct nature of these causes, Nimit and Upadan, and I understand that whatever I need for my growth, my transformation is already encapsulated within me, I and only I am going to be responsible for the desired manifestation of, say, right belief or liberation. Then I have this, self-confidence, self-dependence, and you can say mahima of the self, if you understand what I mean. So far, I have never understood what is my true nature, what kind of an eternal, pure entity I am, how my infinite attributes are functioning, independently on their own and creating manifestations. I am sustained in this universe because of my own inherent attributes. And what I feel, I'm sustained because of food, water, I need house, I need a family, and so on and so forth. So I understand my own true nature, my own internal power. And I have this belief in myself that the desired manifestation, I am self sufficient. Having said that, my false belief of doership in other substances is eliminated. Now I no longer, feel that I'm responsible. I may be inspiring a million people, but I know that their action is taking place on their own accord. And I am not doing any action of anybody else, right? So that false pride of, when does the pride arise? Pride means man kashai. When is it arising? When I feel that I'm superior to others. But here, I understand my own power and I don't feel that I'm superior to others because they also have their own inherent power, right? They are also doing their manifestations on their own. So this false pride, the belief of doership goes away. At the same time, the helplessness, the incessant search of having other substances do my work, this also goes away. And my circle of rag dvesh, it goes on shrinking, where I had, infinite dependence and rag dvesh towards all the external substances. With this understanding, I get on, winding up my hands from external things and start going within, trying to understand my own nature. And this is the biggest benefit of the study of Nimit and Upadan. Okay, so we are unhappy because we don't know the real nature of things, and we regard one as doer of another, and we are unhappy on that count, because if I am the doer of others, things should happen according to me, but they don't happen because that is not the nature of things, and in the result I am unhappy. So if I understand the real nature, my pride is gone, my belief of dependence is gone, and overall I'm quite relaxed. I can be happy. The example they have given, that a thief cannot be free from the guilt of theft by throwing fault on the moonlight. I cannot say that it was a moonlit night and that is why I went there and stole that things because I saw those riches in their house. Okay, so in the same way, the soul cannot be free from unhappiness and grief when it throws all his responsibility in your other things. Like that person said hurtful words and that is why I am upset. No, that is not true. You are throwing your blame on other things. That will never work. So you will also suffer in that. You will bind the inauspicious karma and you will bear the fruit of that. So when we understand this, we understand no, external substances are just nimit. They are not causing me any pain. They are not responsible for anything bad or good that has happened in my life. In that way, my blame on other things, goes away. I take the responsibility of my own life. I take the responsibility of my own happiness. And in that way, I truly move forward in my spiritual journey. Uh, and the last thing is very important, give deep consideration to whatever has been taught. This is something which we cannot just read and go ahead with it. Things like this have to be really, thought again and again. And I would suggest all of you, for your own homework, should write down 5 instances of your own life. You may not even want to share it with others, but where you have been unhappy because you have blamed Nimit. I'm sure we can find many, but these are the instances in my life where I have blamed my circumstances, external substances, and I have suffered. And then consciously, forgive them. You let that guilt go away, and you see how much, benefit you are getting from this exercise. And then name 5 things, 5 people whom you think you are responsible for. You are doing their action, and you are suffering from the pride of that doership. And again, you let that pride also go away. So this both two-way exercise will truly allow you to, absorb the message of what Jinwani Ma is trying to tell us and allow us to go in the path of right knowledge. With that, I think I will hand over to Sir. If there is something which I have missed out, please enlighten us. Thank you. Any questions before that? Yeah, Priyanka.
Priyanka ji has some question. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Vijay ji, I have a question. So, there was in between you, it said something like for the nimit to make an effect on us as souls. There are 2 things that's necessary. One is the power and one is the consciousness. So like,
for karma. I said
Okay.
basically for karma. For karma to, consciously give you punishment or a reward, it needs
Yeah.
to have consciousness and strength both. But it
Right.
does not have. And the example I gave was, which is given over here, is of Chakwa Chakwi. How sunrise and sunset are just, the coincidences, you can say, that sunrise they are together, sunset they are separated. In that way, karma is also like that. When the karma is going to bring fruit, your circumstances around you will become good. If your punya karma is bringing fruit, then automatically the circumstances around you will become favorable to you. And when there is papka uday, automatically these circumstances will be like that. Karma is not, getting you your partner and getting you this. It is not going around doing that. These things are happening on their own accord. And this is how, we understand this independence of the nature of the universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so this is karma, and say like, I'm thinking like, say Nimit, like can Nimit, so say like sir is Nimit.
Yeah.
In helping us.
Yeah.
So can we say like you and sir, like you have consciousness and you have the power to influence, to like you can make a difference in our understanding and help us achieve our goal. So is that possible? Like, can we say like is that is having an effect?
Okay. So when you say this is fine, because that is the language of, sansar. I also show deep gratitude to sir because I was also his student. So I say yes, because of your sermon only I have understood Jinwani. Now saying that is not wrong, but believing that to be true is mithyatva. You know why? Because if he is the person who is teaching others, then everybody has to learn the same way. But is it true? Does every person have the same effect? I'm sure in your batch also there will be so many students who left midway, who did not give the exam. So did sir cause them to leave? And did sir cause you to stay? So it's not like that. Every person is, responsible for his own transformation. Now, when I understand something of my own eligibility, it is that vinay or that respect which we give to our teachers and gurus, which is again a convention, right? In convention, I say that certainly I am, I'm thankful to Gurudev Shri, I'm thankful to Acharya Kun because of them we have got this message. But in real, we also, have that internal understanding that they are just nimit. They don't actually cause the action. They are not the doers. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Sir.
Any other questions? Okay, so I hope that every one of you have understood it very nicely, and that's why you don't have any questions. It's a very difficult topic, to teach and make you understand, but Vijalji has done it so nicely that everyone has understood. We'll be studying this in detail. We have another book by the name of Nimit Upadan, and that is quite a few pages. I think it's around 50-60 pages. So we are going to take that up after Tattva part 2 is over. We will be studying that book also. So again, we'll be touching this topic again there. And the translation is also going on and it is under review. So hopefully that will also be ready, because presently we don't have any English book on Nimit Upadan, translated book. So once this translation is done, at least you will be having the soft copy for reference. Okay. And I think they have couriered Hindi book along with the books, no? You have got the Hindi book, Nimit Upadan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So they have sent the Hindi because English is not available. So, but the English translation is already being done and it is under review. And hopefully within next 10-15 days, that will be ready. In meantime, we will be covering other chapters from Tattva 2. And by the time we complete that, this will be ready. So we'll be again studying this in deeply. And as far as CC3 is concerned, I'm giving you the topic that we'll be covering this chapter only, Nimit Upadan. So you have to write a essay on this, and you have to prepare a chart also on this on your own. So this will be your homework as a concept clarity paper 3. Okay. So, but not now. After we finish that other book on Nimit Upadan, then only I will give you this homework. In meantime, you can complete the Das Lakshan Dharma homework that I've given you as a concept clarity. And maybe by next week, I'll be releasing 3 questions of Viva also. So first you complete the CC2 homework, and then I will give you 3 questions on Viva. And by the time we finish that, I'll be giving you this concept clarity paper 3. And of course, by the time we finish that, we will have LCPA coming up, the 3 questions, which will be shared by the management people. That will be 1 question on each topic, 1 question from paper 1, 1 question from paper 2, and 1 question from paper 3. And that will be mostly practical questions where you have to give examples from your day-to-day life. So this is how we are going to do. I hope this topic is slightly very deep, so understanding once will not be sufficient. I really genuinely recommend all of you to listen to this lecture once more, and maybe twice more. So once you have a clarity on this topic, this is going to help you in a big way in your day-to-day life also, and also understanding other topics of Jainism also. So basically, Nimit Upadan, not Nimit Upadan, but the first one that we studied about the Nischay and Vyavharnay, that is one topic. This Nimit Upadan is the second topic. And the third one is Krambat Paryay, that is coming up in the next semester. These 3 are the most important in Jainism, and out of which you already have an idea on Nischay and Vyavhar. We studied through that chart. Vyavharnay, four divisions of Vyavharnay and 4 divisions of Nischay. So that you have an idea roughly, but we are also going to study that deeply, full paper, 90 marks on that, maybe in the 5th or 6th sem. But still that time you have to wait. And this is the first topic, in fact, that we are covering so deeply. And not only this topic, we will be connecting this topic with Shatkarak also, and we will be connecting this with 5 factors also. So all these 3 topics, Nimit Upadan, Shatkarak, which is the next chapter in this textbook only, and the 5 samvais that we'll be studying in Krambat Paryay. So, but all the 3 topics are similar in nature, only the names changes. So that also we will be doing it when we study the Nimit Upadan from that textbook. Okay. So this is all for this topic. You have to read, you have to listen to it again and again to, understand it very deeply and properly, and that is going to help you in a big way. So thank you, Vijalji. This so nice of you to explain this in such a simple manner. I would not have been able to explain it in such a nice way. So thank you for that. And whenever you have time, we are all ready to listen to your lectures. And if you can choose any of the other topics from Tattva-Gyan 2, you are always welcome. And if you can permanently allot some time, every SEM, then also we are very happy. So
That's very kind of you,
yes.
sir.
Yes, sir. I'm Anumodana for yours.
yes.
I will certainly try. If there is another opportunity, I'll see you guys again.
No,
Sir,
as
the assignment
you
which you
said,
gave
permanent slot you should allot me, ma'am, Didi. For us.
We will try. I don't think so it's possible, but yeah. I really enjoy teaching, so that is why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll do the story. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। 9 बार 9 का मंत्र गिनेंगे। जय जिनेन्द्र।
जय जिनेन्द्र।